Welcome to today's episode, where we reveal to you the greatest mystery of all about the Magical Modernist Mansion. We are taking you back in time to when this house was first conceived, because we are trying to understand whether the original architect was or was not the famous Enric Sagnier y Villavecchia, who is known as one of the top 5 architects in Catalonia in Spain, up there with Gaudí, and it's a mystery. We still don't know the answer. For those of you who know this house, you'll know that its real name is not really the Magical Modernist Mansion, but in fact, Can Punctious, meaning spiky house. But in fact, that's actually its nickname. Originally, it was called Casa Ramon, named after the man who commissioned its build, and he made his fortune in Cuba. So he's known as one of the Americanos or Indianos. Towards the end of today's episode, we are going to show you some buildings in Barcelona designed by Sagnier that have, oh my goodness, striking resemblance. I decided let's just stress test this theory and go and have a look in the area at similar buildings and work out who their architect was. I discovered a few buildings in situ that do bear resemblance to this one, so I looked into who was the architect behind those. And actually, it turned out they had one master builder by the name of Gaeta Miret y Raventos. When I look closely at the mouldings, the style of artistry is a little different, and in all the documentation that we have looked at for this house, the only piece of information that we do have is that it was by a builder. And his name is Per Ferran Cortés. As you can imagine, it felt a little like, well, we have got a name of a builder, but we don't have the name of the architect. So we dug a little deeper. We contacted architectural associations, historical archives in multiple towns, national and local, any governmental body we could think of, and of course the Enric Sagnier Foundation itself. We sent multiple emails to them. Unfortunately, they did not give us a response. And you might think, well, hang on a moment, if there's a list of houses on the Sagnier Foundation website, surely that will tell you your answer. We thought of that too. But then we realised that, hang on a moment, not all of the buildings designed by Sagnier are actually listed on this website. And the reason why is that Sagnier was a prolific producer of buildings. In fact, Sagnier produced 482 buildings. The Rebus Church, we are told, was built by Sagnier. It was a project that was started by another architect called Gaudí, and Sagnier did a lot of the work and completed that project. In fact, he completely redesigned the bell tower to the Rebus Church, so it has got his signature work on it. It's widely publicised, you can see this all over the internet. And so we did think, well, hang on a moment, if the Rebus Church is not listed, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Sagnier did design this mansion. And when we think about what it looks like, it's prominent, it's bold, it's flamboyant, and it's artistically beautiful in its creation. And it's not surprising because at the time this house was built, there was an already established new rich of men who had returned from Cuba with wealth. And in order to be accepted into this community, Ramon Mestre Mestre needed to be able to be seen as one amongst his peers. Well, this was the last of the Modernismo houses to be built in Rebus, and with that, it was the largest and, one might say, the most impressive. And you might think that that is the last piece in the puzzle, but it's not. There is one more very important piece to tell you, which is that our architect had a meeting with the now late husband of the granddaughter of Ramon Mestre Mestre. He had spoken a lot with his wife about the house, and of course, that makes sense. She was the granddaughter of the man who commissioned its build. And she has sadly also passed away now. But when she was alive, she told him a couple of very important things about this. He said, without wanting to give us exact information, he told us that the architect of this house is the one who completed the new Rebus Church, who we know is Enric Sagnier y Villavecchia. She also told him that Sagnier completed the Rebus Church in 1910, which we know, and that then Sagnier went on to complete this house just a few metres away in the same town in 1911. Let's now travel back in time, where Ollie and I are in Barcelona taking a look at some of Sagnier's work And let's see if we can see any parallels between them and the Magical Modernist Mansion.
What we've discovered is that Enric Sagnier did a lot of his buildings in one of my favourite roads in Barcelona, which is called the Rambla de Catalunya. It comes off the Plaza de Catalunya at the bottom, and it heads all the way up, parallel to the main boulevard of Barcelona, which is the Paseo de Gracia, which is just over there. This is a very classy place, really nice cafes and restaurants, and if you happen to stay in Barcelona with a hotel on this street, you'll know you're in a very, very good place. We're on the lookout for Enric Sagnier's actual house, which is now a hotel apparently. Hopefully a nice one where we can get a cup of tea. But it's not just that his house was here. He also designed many other properties on the street as well. So basically, if you're an Enric Sagnier groupie like we now are, this is the place to come. Number 33, which is now the Philippines Embassy. And look at the lovely ladies at the top. The decorative detail is incredible. And I like the fact that the ladies are in a slightly reddish stone.
Yeah. So this is one of a number of houses along Rambla de Catalunya. And Oli, what's also really striking is the leaf motifs, which are just like the ones on the side of the wall to our house.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
So you can really see those. Oh my goodness! And look at the decoration there. That's like on the rear gate posts in our house as well. It's fascinating.
It's exciting.
Beautiful decoration. We thought we'd pop into the local bookshop here on Rambla de Catalunya, where many of his houses are located, to see if they have one of his books. And this is a book about him and other famous Modernisme architects. Gaudí, of course, who many of you will know, is one of the five. Yes. But Sagnier features actually at the top as the most prominent.
To be talked about in a book that also talks about Gaudí, I think tells us just how respected this architect is, which is really exciting.
Oli, this is a shop I've been desperate to take you to in Barcelona. It's a ferreteria, but of the most glamorous sort. So ferreteria means a hardware store, and it sells hardware for the home. Door handles and kitchen cupboard handles.
Yes, this road is getting better and better. Not only Enric Sagnier and all his masterpieces, but really quite amazing shops too. We should definitely come here and vlog this.
And Oli, when you look in the shop front window, you can see why there are queues when this place is open. It is jam-packed, full of people who are in the know in Barcelona, because there are so many beautiful old Modernisme and other old architecturally interesting houses here. And look at this one. I mean, this is just really something. Else, isn't it? I can't imagine the size of the door that must fit on. But then again, we have some pretty humongous doors in our own homes. So maybe we'll find a place for this.
Oh, yes, maybe. When we take out a second mortgage.
Oli, we're heading for number 47, and I can already see that this is going to be number 47 from the very
yes, it looks like ours. It does. Yeah. That carving. Whoa.
But this one's slightly more Gaudí-esque, I feel, in its form. It's almost slightly melting. It says Casa Miguel Afarcas, 1902 to 1904.
It's actually built before us.
Earlier.
Someone very famous lived here. It's interesting because although the building looks obviously different to ours because it's much more curvy, the feel is very similar, particularly of the stonework. It's kind of slightly sort of melting flowers, and you've got the heads as well. It's incredible. We've actually got heads carved in to the end of the thing here. It definitely has the same feel as our house, doesn't it?
It does. It's quite dreamlike.
Yeah, it's got that dreamy feel. One of the great pleasures of Barcelona and its modernist architecture, which I started when I first moved here, was just peering in at the entrance halls. They're so pretty. Come look at this one. It's not over the top, it's just beautiful in its simplicity. I love the curve. She's a curvy, beautiful lady. Look at the way the window sweeps at the centre. And look at those lovely sort of beautiful curvy arches that have a bit of playfulness about them, don't they?
We're now at number 96, and you are immediately struck by the similarities again, this lovely stonework of leaves. And in this one, you've got flowers and heads, which we don't have. The shutters are green, which ours originally were. And it's got that symmetrical layout, yet again, of the 3 windows going up. All the way, it's absolutely beautiful. The condition of this building is
Lovely, isn't it?
yeah,
I like
really.
the green as well. Do you think we can have our heads above the door? Though actually, I might scare people off.
If we could call ourselves the gargoyles, then couldn't we?
I love the triple height door, don't you? And it's so beautifully done with the ironwork and the glass.
The way the balcony is different, it does have slight similarity, the ironwork and the flowers.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, unfortunately our flowers have got a little bit damaged, but that's one for the restoration list, isn't it?
It really is.
These are lovely ones, really nice. One of the things I love about Barcelona is just the light. And then you've got the mixture of these dappled plane trees with the stonework and then the sunshine, and it just makes me really happy.
I can see it. It's just here.
I hope it's a posh hotel.
We're just in time for tea, I believe.
Absolutely.
This was the family home of Enric Sagnier.
Family home, could you imagine, on the best street?
Yeah, it's absolutely spectacular. Yeah, it's spectacular, and you can see that he was a religious man. You can see the Virgin Mary on the side here. The other thing that I'm struck by is these curling leaves. We actually have at our house, Campuncture, and of course so many other little leaf motifs and detail that just really feels reminiscent of our own home.
Look at the ladies at the top and the medallions at the very top. I wonder if they were... Is there a man in the middle and 2 ladies? I can't really see. I think it's 3 ladies. I wonder if they're the ladies of the house. Look at the glass balcony. How lovely is that?
A lot of these houses, you can see much more striking similarities with Campunctius, our own home. Still, these lovely original features have in the main been maintained.
I'm going to look at the details though, under here. This lady here is actually playing the organ. Can you see? And this one over here is writing, but she's wearing an absolutely beautiful dress with kind of ruffed arms. They're lovely.
There are some differences as well, and one difference that I really love that they have here is the continuation of iron from the house into the gate of the street and then into the neighbouring house.
Yes, you're right. Come on, this street here, this has some of the best restaurants in Barcelona. Got an amazing Japanese restaurant. We're not going to the best restaurant in Barcelona today though. We're going to go and for tea.
Fine, I'm good with this.
Yeah.
Even on the side, you can see a lot of the detail has come off, but they've managed to maintain it just above the ground floor level.
Isn't this interesting? Even the cafe is called the Café de l'Architecte, which will be in memory of the fact that this absolutely amazing architect used to live there.
Ollie, you have to come and see this. Outside that beautiful restaurant you were talking about are these potted plants, and they're giving me exciting ideas.
Criminals are getting palm envy again.
Let's actually get bananas.
Oh my goodness, I've been to this restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I came with Ant and Stuart. So here we are, not tea actually, coffee. The interior of the building is totally transformed. It's modern now, but we're still getting a feel of the fact it was a family house, because behind us, rather lovely, are some family photographs from Enric Sagnier's family album. Really lovely, it takes you back in time. It's very, very nice coffee. Plus, I've got chocolate cake as well. This cafe is really vast in itself, and it's just a fraction of the house. When you look at these pictures, you see many, many people, but still, this was an absolutely huge house, more like a palace.
That's quite cute, that shot just there, just of the leaf motif. Loving the chandelier.
We did some very grand buildings. This is the Palace of Justice. The exciting thing is, when our architect sent us the photos of this building, number 96. It looked like there's another one exactly the same that used to be there, but it's now this modern building here. Not as attractive. Number 98. 98 bis, I think. But actually, when we used to look at the photo, which one that's no longer there, bang, look at this. This, from a distance, actually looks like our house, Campunchus.
And I think that's really, really nice for us to be able to see in the flesh. And looking benevolently down upon us is the Church of Tipicapo, also by Enric Sagnier, Villavecchia. You see it from this very road in the distance.
He must have felt very proud, you know, coming out of his own house, seeing his masterpiece up on the hill, walking down the road and seeing more masterpieces left, right and centre. Pretty cool job being an architect. When our architect sent us the photos of Enric Sagnier, there was one of them that absolutely popped out for me. And we think it was this building here, which is now either a hotel or a Volkswagen garage, number 28, Rambla de Catalunya. And when I looked at this photo, it's like, oh my goodness, from a distance that actually looks like Campunchus. It's got that same feel, that same lightness, that same magic. And this for me was, yes, this is our man, this is the architect of Campunchus for sure. I mean, I do like Volkswagens, but it's a bit of a shame the house went, isn't it? Yeah, it is definitely not the same looking building anymore. A lot of Barcelona architecture has been lost over the years. So much has survived, but it is a bit of a shame that although many houses here do resemble Campunchus, the one I think resembled Campunchus the most is now a modern building. It's a bit of a shame, but at least Campunchus is still standing, and we're going to make sure she stands for many generations to come.